Hi, everyone. We are going to begin our Whitecoat celebration in just about 3.5 minutes. So come on in, have a seat, finish up your conversations. I know if you look through the door, the Whitecoat recipients are lined up. They are raring to go. I did want to let the group know this is not a somber celebration. We do take it seriously. This is a serious event, but it is not somber. So I expect you to hoot and holler and clap. Please embarrass these students. I can't do it. I get in trouble. You're their family, it's expected, all right? So get pumped up and ready to go. When the students are up here, come on up, take pictures. That's what we want of you today, okay? So about 2.5 minutes, we'll get started, okay? students, you can go ahead and have a seat. And faculty and staff as well. I mean, you're going to stand the whole time. Welcome, everyone, students, family, friends, staff, faculty, to the Fall 2022 Whitecoat Ceremony. My name is Dr. Katie Burns-Ryan. I'm the Dean for the College of Chiropractic here at NWHSU, and I can tell you on behalf of myself, as well as our faculty and staff, we are so excited to celebrate this milestone with you in person here on campus. Yes! Over the past year and a half, these students have worked exceedingly hard. Just to let you know, they have participated in over 1,900 hours of instructional labs and lectures, and I don't know how many hours of just plain studying that they've been doing on their own. Throughout the course of this time, they've had a lot of mini milestones, is what I would call it. First of all, just meeting each other in person, right? During COVID, that was a big one. Then there's cadaveric dissection, right? Anatomy, trimester one. Trimester one, Dr. Larson's methods class. Remember being kind of anxious about saying, can I open your gown? I'm gonna touch you now, right? Fast forward to methods 3 and adjusting necks, right? Methods 4, side postures that twist you up like a pretzel kind of adjustment, just for the non-chiros in the audience. That's a lot of mini milestones that you've gotten to this point. But you would not have gotten here today without the help, without the mentorship of your faculty and your administration. So I'd like to call those individuals out for a moment, okay? So my faculty, could you please stand up for me? Stand up, faculty. We have Dr. Farrar, Dr. Muldoon, Dr. Major, Dr. Tuchscher, Dr. Egebrecht, Dr. Scoffel, Dr. Klassen-Myers, Dr. Heim, Dr. Bartels, Dr. Janzari, Dr. Larson, Dr. Oster, and Dr. Krull. Woo! Go ahead and have a seat. You can sit. I would also like to recognize the rest of the platform party that you're seeing in the front row here. First up, Dr. Chris Major. Dr. Major is the chiropractic faculty member who was selected by the trimester 6 students to be the keynote speaker. Dr. Mary Tuchscher. Now you can clap. Dr. Mary Tuchscher is a professor and longtime faculty member. She'll be reading the names of the recipients. Dr. Christian Wright, he's our Vice President of Academic and Student Programs. He is going to be handing out your certificates. Dr. John Allenberg, he is our representative from the Alumni Board, and I'd like to point out that the Alumni Board has graciously gifted these white coats to our recipients today, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge that incredible gift. Just wait, you can clap in a second. It's a gift from an alumni of our university, right, to their future colleagues. And students, I want you to take in this moment because this is going to be you. In a year and a half, this is going to be you. You are going to be the alumni, and I want you to remember how it feels to have this acknowledgement from your colleagues and to be able to pay that back in the future. Now you can go ahead and clap for that. The last person on our platform party is not able to sit up here today. He has to sit with his classmates, all right? But Logan Eckhoff, who in just 15 months, I'm gonna call you Dr. Eckhoff, okay? He was selected by his class to lead the oath. So go ahead and stand up, be acknowledged. All right, finally, this is not a last but least. This is a save the best for last type moment, right? I would like to recognize the friends and family that are here today who are supportive of our students on an everyday basis. Without your love, without your support, these recipients would not have gotten to this point. So this is as much for you as it is for them, all right? This is a celebration. So students, I want you to stand up, find your loved ones in the crowd, lock eyes, give a virtual hug, and give them a huge cheer. Okay, stand up, find your peeps. I love the energy of this crowd. I have a series of really terrible chiropractic jokes that I was going to have to break out if you weren't, happy today. I'm just going to ignore those for now. I don't even need them. Just put them away. All right. Now, some of you might be wondering, what is a white coat ceremony? What's the meaning of that? And on the back of your program, there is a brief description of the origin of the ceremony as well as the symbolism of the white coat. But I would like to give just a little more context about this, because this is a big deal. Now, the white coat ceremony takes place midway through our academic program. This is a moment where we can stop, we can breathe, we can reflect on all that you've accomplished throughout this time, okay? When you do this, remember this is also a transition from the classroom to the clinic as well. This is a big moment of change for you. To quote our own Dr. Jeremy Bartles, wave Dr. Bartles. There you go. He's hiding in the back. To quote our own Dr. Jeremy Bartles, the natural order is to keep moving forward to the next big thing, an accomplishment. But we must stop, take a moment, and reflect on our achievements. Only at these moments can we genuinely understand the sacrifices and successes we have achieved and the failures we've overcome. Give yourself the space and the self-love to appreciate all you have endured getting to this point. I think that's a very apropos quote, so thank you, Dr. Bartles. Now, we celebrate this milestone with the wearing of a white coat, which is not just a piece of clothing, but it's a symbol often referenced as the cloak of compassion. And I want everyone in the audience, including our students, important students, that you really take a moment and just think about the characteristics that you assume of a person wearing a white coat. So just take a moment and kind of think about that. To many people, an individual wearing a white coat is a doctor, someone with knowledge and expertise, someone who knows what's going on, someone who can help them. A person wearing a white coat is considered a trusted professional who cares for their patient. But after that first impression, that first assumption of seeing someone wearing a white coat, that's when your real work actually begins, because you have to consistently demonstrate those virtues, those characteristics, so that your patients continue to give you their trust. While you can take this white coat off, and no doubt you will later today because they are a bit hot, right? A little tight around the shoulders, right? You can take it off your shoulders, you can hang it in a closet. You will always remain a doctor of chiropractic, all right? That's huge. Your purpose is serving others, and that responsibility will always rest on your shoulders. That's why we celebrate with a white coat, okay? Wow, I really took it down a little bit there, sorry. Sorry, okay. So to my T6s, you have come a long way. On the screen, you're going to see a series of pictures from 3 weeks ago. These are our new T1s. Say, aw. Thank you. Thank you. That was you. That was you just a year and a half ago. Deer in headlights, right? Like, you were excited. You're nervous. You didn't know what to expect. Maybe it was the first time you heard that you're going to have to take national boards, and you're like, what the blank is this all about? So as you know, students, our program, it is rigorous, and it's challenging, and it's hard work, but it's enjoyable, too. You have those moments of, I get it, right? That's what you're looking for. And as you successfully navigated our academic program, you did it during a pandemic. That is the epitome of resiliency, of dedication, and it makes me even more proud to say that you are soon going to be my new colleagues. So, it's time to celebrate this hard work, and we're going to go ahead and get started by introducing the keynote speaker. I want to start things off. This is Dr. Chris Major, who's been selected by the T6 class to give his address, and I'm not surprised by this at all. Dr. Major earned his chiropractic degree from our institution in 2006. He was actually one of my first students. Sorry about that, doctor. He then went on to earn his diplomate from the American Chiropractic Board of Radiology, or DACBAR, in 2011. And since then, we've been fortunate to call him a faculty member here. Dr. Major is now serving on that DACBAR board as the member at large. He is the director of NWHSU's Radiology Consultation Services, or RCS. And by the way, if you ever meet a radiologist, very intelligent, love to use acronyms. RCS, DACBAR, right? NWHSU. I'm sure you'll throw a few into the keynote, right? Thank you. And so I'll get back to my speech, sorry. Amongst all these things that Dr. Major is always involved in, he also manages to sneak in a little bit of teaching, just a little bit. These students would have met him in spine and pelvis in T1, right? And then you had him in SCALRAD 2, 3, and 4. And even after having him in all these classes, you have still decided to keep him as a keynote speaker, which to me means that he's doing something right. I don't know, call me crazy. I suspect it has something to do with the fact that Dr. Major is one of the most calm and down-to-earth people I know. He has some really terrible dad jokes that he will, kind of weave in. But he also has an excitement for chiropractic that makes his courses not only informational, but also quite enjoyable. It could also be the fact that Dr. Major has a hobby farm, and on occasion you might hear a chicken, or you might get to see a newborn lamb if he's taking his office hours from his barn. Something quite interesting to see. Or it could be the inspirational advice that Dr. Major weaves into all of his courses. Things like, be ready to fail, people. Now that doesn't sound very inspirational, I know. I had to talk to him about that, but then we realized he didn't mean his class was going to be so impossible you wouldn't be able to pass it. Instead, he instilled in you the comfort that you should bring your best to every situation, every opportunity that you have in front of you, and that from every wrong answer and failure, you will learn and you will grow, and to be humble enough to know you're not always going to be right, and learn from it. So whatever your reasons for selecting Dr. Major, course content, dad jokes, chickens clucking, mentorship, I think you made a great decision. So I invite Dr. Major to the podium.
Wow, thank you for that introduction. That is something else. I'd like to add tenacious to this group's characteristics. You are definitely resilient. I will never forget starting with you all in spine and pelvis, and just the way you all dove in and you showed up, and then you keep on showing up. All right, so I appreciate that, and all of your faculty appreciate that. So, thank you, Dr. Burns-Ryan, for that introduction. All right, Dr. Wright, colleagues, family and friends, and interns. Has a nice ring to it. Interns, all right? Congratulations. I am honored to address you today and share some wisdom with you, extra wisdom. Stuff I was holding back during that extra 180 hours you've already endured with me, so here we go. This is an important day for you. This is the day that your friends, family, and teachers have gathered physically, spiritually, and virtually, maybe, all right? To celebrate with you and formally mark your transition into the clinical portion of your education. You have come really far, as Dr. Burns-Ryan has said, all right? We're also here to support you as the reality, the gravity of your situation sinks in. No, I'm not talking about the realization that you wish you had attended this session virtually, okay, or better yet, watched me at 1.5 times speed, okay? Well, I'm curious if there's any, oh, 2. I don't talk that slow, do I? All right. One of your classmates, I had the pleasure to meet a spouse, Ben, talking about Ben, and he's like, I recognize your voice. And I'm like, at least he's been having that on the background a little bit. But you talk slower in real life. All right, I'll speed it up. All right, so now you're stuck with me for another, 40, 30 minutes? 30, okay, good, all right, maybe 3. All right, no, I'm talking about the realization that while you've come pretty far, you actually have so much work left to do. All right, it'll hit you later on. Enjoy this moment, it'll hit you later. No. Think about it, you're in the early part of T6, okay? That's like 55%. Actually, next week 4 is next week. 52.5% of the way through the program. Okay. You've only taken one board exam. There's at least 3 left, all right? Not to mention your state boards, Canadian boards coming up, all right? It might be enough to make you wish you could fast forward to your graduation right now, all right? No, because then you'd be thinking about new stresses and different things, challenges. Where do you go to practice? Do you associate? You know, do you open up your own place? What you really wish for is you could just go a couple years into practice, all right? That's the sweet spot, okay? That's the sweet spot. You're established, you're growing, you're paying for things, you're enjoying life. But then there's gonna be a new set of stressors and challenges too, okay? Besides, how many years of your life did we just imagine fast forwarding through? We don't wanna do that, don't wanna do that. So don't wish your life away. That's a cliche you've probably heard before, and I had heard that as well. But it finally stuck with me right around the midway point in chiropractic school, right around T6, okay? Life was starting to move fast. You're at a tipping point here, all right? Last year and a half went by pretty fast. The next year and a half is gonna go by even faster. There's a never-ending stream of tasks, exams, assignments, an endless amount of knowledge to acquire yet. It's natural to want, for people in your position, taking on a big life challenge, to sometimes skip ahead to the next day, right? Or maybe the next week, okay? You might just wanna skip the best parts of fall and get right to the holiday break. You might find yourself thinking that sometimes. Well, we had a classmate, his name was Lee, he would always remind us, don't wish your life away. Anytime we were bogged down in the thick of exams, just trying to get through midterms like you'll be doing in a few weeks, okay? We'd be studying late at a coffee shop or at somebody's house, feeling stressed and thinking about our future selves, okay? He'd remind us, don't wish your life away, okay? We'd look up from our notes, engage cranial nerves 3, 4, 6, back at him. You get it, that's an eye roll, right? He was a little older than most of us in the class and had a few kids of his own, and his parental advice would occasionally follow him to school, all right? There might be a few of you like that in the group, okay? Maybe you don't know about it, but your classmates, they know who you are, okay? They love you for that. That saying, don't wish your life away, it helped remind us to find the joy in the small day-to-day moments, which are more powerful than the stress of any quizzes, papers, exams, or other things that you're enduring. These moments might be obvious, like receiving a high grade on an exam, or stealing away for a long weekend with friends or loved ones. Keep your eyes out, though, for the little joys, all right? They're usually hard to notice until they're just a memory, but they're more powerful if you observe them in the moment. Little kid giggles at the end of a long day, okay, or 5 a.m., you kind of take them when you can. The golden sunlight and the smell of fall leaves while you walk to your car on a Friday afternoon, okay? Your classmate dancing in the hall between lab sessions. There's more than, you put that white coat on, and I just happened to catch you in the hallway, man, and you were breakdancing. It was great, it was great. I've seen a few more of you, though, bust a move in the hall, too. You got a lot of dancers in this group. All right. Little joys like that light bulb going off when you start saying words like ALP, CRP, white blood cell counts, and they actually make sense, okay? Or better yet, I think, might be biased, that joy you feel when the shadows on an x-ray start to coalesce into diagnoses and differential diagnoses. No? Is that just me? Natalie, you got my back, right? Okay. How about that joy when you deliver the perfect adjustment with just the right speed at just the right angle, and you can almost feel the relief that your patient feels? I know you've experienced that. How about the joy from the almost inadvertent ways you've created some of the strongest friendships through innumerous study sessions? The type of friendships that will carry you through the most challenging days. For some of you, they may already have. My wish for you is to find the little joys that will accompany you through the remaining time at Northwestern and to relish in the day-to-day challenges and opportunities for growth. Sure, you've got another year and a half to go and a few more board exams, but 55%, is it? No, 52.5%. That's a tipping point, all right? It's a tipping point, okay? And in a blink of an eye, we'll all be back here to celebrate your graduation. But don't be in a hurry. Enjoy each day. Enjoy this precious and privileged time to immerse yourself in study. Very rarely will you get this opportunity again, okay? So soak it up and enjoy this new opportunity to put knowledge into clinical practice. And most certainly, enjoy this lovely fall weekend with your friends and family. Congratulations. Thank you.
You can clearly see why they chose Dr. Major to give that keynote address, right? Fantastic job, Doctor. So now is the time you've been waiting for. the acceptance of your Whitecoat certificates. So recipients in the front row, you are going to please line up along this wall. So go ahead and you can stand up and line up along that wall. They are in alphabetical order, so stay in alphabetical order. Okay? And when your name is called off, you will walk across the stage to accept your certificate from Dr. Wright. As you exit the stage, students, you're going to pause at the bottom of the steps, pop a hip, make sure to take a really good picture. And as we're going through this, again, family, what I need you to do, friends, come on up, take pictures. I need you to shout and holler, really embarrass them like I asked you to do at the beginning of the ceremony, because this is their moment. They're going to be walking across the stage. I would like to introduce Dr. Mary Tucksher to the podium. She is going to be introducing the recipients, and then Dr. Christian Wright, who will be presenting the Certificate of Achievements.
All right. So everybody, they're getting in position. All right, so Austin Acor. There we go. It's always hard, the first one. Cassandra Bain. Jacqueline Bars. Taylor Beery. Nathan Buck. Matthew Cady. Alexis Douglas. Logan Eckhoff. Whoa. Okay, you guys have your work cut out for you now after that one. Bailey Fagerland. Cayman Fashing. Allison Federuk. Patrick Fisher. Jackson Gussie. Christine Hanley. Kit Harlow. Michael Holsing. Nicholas Jocks. Sharia Jose. Sarah Ann Kaiser. Kristen Kalida. Holly Cowles. Mary Elizabeth Kurska. Jasmeet Kuber. Samuel Coos. Cody Loran. Alicia Beth Marfio. Cecily Maxa. Nick McCarty. Allie Meyer. Zach Mills. Joseph A. Manette. Khalil Permenter. Danny Petraszewski. Curtis Pluger. Annette Purdy. Elizabeth Radomski. Marissa Raysky. Katie Steele. Ruben Tyler Tice. Wait a minute. Let me do it again. Tyler Tice. Ten Trung Tran. Tanner Tunsky. Amber Vogel. Quintana White. Gage Winkles. Carson Winterfeld. Paul Wood. And Li Xiong.
All right, now you did great, by the way, audience. You can come back anytime. Anytime, fantastic work. This is where I have to kind of pause for a moment, make sure we have enough time for our Whitecoat recipients to get back to their seats. And of course, always the last couple, they sit down only to have to pop back up when I say, please stand up, Whitecoat recipients, and get one more giant round of applause. Woo! right, everybody can sit down. At this point in time, I would like to introduce Logan Eckhoff and have him come up to the podium so he can lead the oath.
Alrighty. Recipients, please rise, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. On this day, September 24th, 2022, in the presence of family, friends, esteemed faculty, and staff, I hereby affirm to hold myself and colleagues accountable to the content and spirit of this oath. With honor and pride, I vow to uphold the rights and responsibilities entrusted to me by my training as a doctor of chiropractic at Northwestern Health Sciences University, and commit to becoming an active advocate of our chiropractic profession.
With honor and pride, I vow to uphold the rights and responsibilities entrusted to me by my training as a doctor of chiropractic at Northwestern Health Sciences University, and commit to becoming an active advocate of our chiropractic profession.
I will faithfully serve the well-being of my patients by upholding myself and my colleagues to the highest degree of professionalism and integrity with unquestionable and unwavering ethical conduct.
I will faithfully serve the well-being of my patients by upholding myself and my colleagues to the highest degree of professionalism and integrity with unquestionable and unwavering ethical conduct.
I will advocate for my profession as a distinct and holistic approach to health. I will esteem those who have taught me the art, science, and philosophy of chiropractic, while respecting the knowledge, wisdom, and contributions of my predecessors.
I will advocate for my profession as a distinct and holistic approach to health. I will esteem those who have taught me the art, science, and philosophy of chiropractic, while respecting the knowledge, wisdom, and contributions of my predecessors.
I will stand ready to serve humankind and the profession by dedicating my career to the pursuit of health and wellness.
I will stand ready to serve humankind and the profession by dedicating my career to the pursuit of health and wellness.
I will act within my capabilities and recognize my limitations. I will act in my patients' best interests and will regard keeping their confidence in me as a moral obligation.
I will act within my capabilities and recognize my limitations. I will act in my patients' best interests and will regard keeping their confidence in me as a moral obligation.
I pledge my dedication to the practice of chiropractic so that all those I serve may discover true healing, education, and awareness in all aspects of their lives and consciousness.
I pledge my dedication to the practice of chiropractic so that all those I serve may discover true healing, education, and awareness in all aspects of their lives and consciousness.
May my skillful hands and clinical knowledge bring strength to the sick, relief to the suffering, and peace of mind to the anxious. May I provide inspiration for all to obtain bountiful health and live this life to the fullest. With great respect, I will always affirm these principles, acknowledging that every human life is valuable and powerful.
May my skillful hands and clinical knowledge bring strength to the sick, relief to the suffering, and peace of mind to the anxious. May I provide inspiration for all to attain bountiful health and live this life to the fullest. With great respect, I will always affirm these principles, acknowledging that every human life is valuable and powerful.
I hold myself accountable to this oath of my own volition. I do this freely and honorably in commitment to learning, living, and serving in my community. May I hold fast to the enthusiasm, passion, and idealism with which I take this pledge.
I hold myself accountable to this oath of my own volition. I do this freely and honorably in commitment to learning, living, and serving in my community. May I hold fast to the enthusiasm, passion, and idealism with which I take this pledge.
some powerful words that our T6s reviewed and approved in that oath. Go ahead and have a seat. Now, as we near the end of our program, I am pleased to introduce a video message made by our own President and CEO, Dr. Deb Bushway. Dr. Bushway is unable to be here today. She's traveling for university business, but she wanted to provide you each with a personal encouragement for each of our recipients. So go ahead and you can play the video.
Well, hello. I'm President Deb Bushway, as most of you probably realize, and I'm so sorry that I'm unable to join you today for the Whitecoat ceremony. It is definitely one of the highlights of my year every time it happens, because it is such an important moment where you are recognizing all that you've learned and pivoting to really begin to apply it in a new way. And there's a quote that I like to use because I think it's a really powerful quote. I like to share it with all of the Whitecoat ceremonies, and I'm going to do that. So the quote is, it's not from a chiropractor, but it is from a healer. And the quote is, when we are mindful to the various elements of the human experience and are acutely aware of the sacred responsibility we hold when we treat another person, and we are humbled by the beauty, sensitivity, and complexity of the design of the human body and spirit. It is in that moment that we do our best work, and we are in service to the well-being of the patient, and we are grateful for the fulfilling experience of restoring health to another person. So what I wish for you is many moments, such as described in that quote, as you move forward in the next stage of your education and on with your profession. I also know that none of us get to this point even without the support of many people. So congratulations also to your family, friends, your colleagues, your faculty, everyone who's participating in getting you to this moment. I wish you well in the next part of your journey toward your professional career. Thank you for letting me join you.
All right, we are at the end of our ceremony. So I've got a few last minute kind of instructions for us before we have one final big giant round of applause and we head out to meet our recipients in the lobby. So first of all, for my faculty, we're going to recess out. I'm going to have the first row head down the steps and go down the middle aisle, followed by the back row, and then we know what to do when we're out there. All right, and then recipients will follow after faculty, so if you're the first one in the first row, you just follow right after us. After that, we are going to be meeting in the lobby area just outside here, as well as in the cafeteria, where we have some light refreshments, and we want you to stay. We want you to take pictures, really celebrate before you take off and go have lunch. This should be a really big day for everybody. And so now, this is where I really need everybody. Stand up. Let's have one more giant round of applause for our new Whitecoat recipients. Woo!